Hi, my name is Atika. I'm from 8 Wave Events and Destinations based in Singapore. So what we do is corporate events in MICE all across destinations in Asia. I would like to thank the organizer of ITCMA for having this buyer procurement, showcase, because I think it's very important, especially now in this time, to communicate what the clients are looking for to vendors like yourself and partners. So I'll just go through just a brief introduction of our core services. So our market is usually from outside of Asia. It's usually from corporate clients or agencies from US, Europe, South Africa, South America, Russia, Scandinavia, into Asia. So Asia is our product, and that's why we hold our MICE events. We actually have 4 different types of services, but I think for today, I'm just going to focus on, being a PCO and incentive house, because that's what is more relevant to speak about. So I'm going to touch base for PCOs, especially during the COVID times. I understand that there's so many protocols, SOPs flying everywhere, and it's a bit tough for us to have different information from different hotels, different venues, and the government itself is also not stable in a sense where they have measures and protocols set out. So it's more like we have to play by ear every single week, and that gives us a hard time when we are trying to assure the clients for their postponed events or their new events, upcoming events, because it's really not up to us. However, I guess that's what I'm going to touch on for most conferences and meetings, be it 25 packs or 350 packs. For sure, it depends on the different countries in Asia where we're going to do it. What are the SMM? And for the hotels, what are the certification needed? And it depends also where the client's from. For incentive, this is interesting because it has shifted our focus to more targeted focus like sustainability. And I'm going to get into it with examples on the different things that we are looking out for from tour operators, local tour operators, or local incentive houses in Asia. So that's just a brief introduction of what I would like to, communicate at the end of the showcase, is to give you an understanding of what, us as the middle person between our corporate clients, as well as to, our partners and vendors in Asia. So I'll start with the meetings and conferences, and I'm going to start with a case study, which is we received like maybe a month ago. So let's say 50 packs, they want an employee dinner in Singapore. It has to be festive. So obviously we're going to, in Singapore, we have to make sure, what are the safety measurements. And I think one of the things that we didn't expect from before, because now it's a different time, is the venues and hotels require details of attendees. So different hotels, different venues have different requirements. So what we would need would be all the items that you guys need for us to communicate it to our clients. And it's interesting because every venues have different requirements, and I guess that's the point. Like maybe we should have certain protocols across the industry, probably by country. And yeah, so let's go into the details. Like the details goes to as far as like what's the nationality, what's the target industry, what are the risk factors of participants. High risk involved, maybe someone 50 years and above, or infants, they are high risk. And what we probably want in order to make it easier for vendors, suppliers, and ourselves, would be clear out some gray areas. Like, for example, certain hotels mention, or we have to take responsibility, or we pass the responsibility to the client, that all attendees at the end of the event will monitor the attendees' health for COVID symptoms for 14 days and to report to us and the venues. That makes sense. I understand. However, there are a few questions that I think we need to kind of agree with and set the tone. Is, so if there is a COVID positive within after 14 days and it comes from our group or not, what are the disinfection protocols, and who is going to be liable for the cost? I guess, is it going to be to us, to the client, or to the vendor? Because this is something that we probably need to communicate to the client like earlier on and decide how to go about it, and who's going to be liable for it. And so I guess that is the concern that we as an event organizer or PCO have when we are dealing with clients. It will help if the venue, or even if it's a restaurant or it's a tour attraction or hotels, would let us know what the clear protocols there is to move forward. I guess that's all for like meetings and conferences from our side. I mean, the whole thermal scanner and face shield and the distancing, that's is really up to the country itself and the hotel. For incentives, I guess sustainability has been like a used word so much throughout COVID, and I guess to help with vendors or DMCs on ground in different locations, especially for us, it's Asia, is to, because if you're on ground, we seek your expertise in things that are not easily searched, things that can only be found out or if you stay there. For example, we would like to create experiences for incentives, not for like big tour attractions. Especially during COVID, I believe the number of people for incentives are going to be smaller and smaller, which is good for very niche type of experiences that involves community, that involves local villages, that involves wildlife, rehab, or national sanctuary, forest, especially in Asia. And it does not help to just not have plastic water bottles anymore. It does not help, to reduce plastic bottles. I think it's education, and I think that's our targeted focus for, in the future for incentives if once the border opens. So I guess the kind of itinerary and experiences that a company like us look forward to will be this type of things, something socially responsible, so that the clients will be more keen to do it with their colleagues or with their employers or with their distributors or partners or VIPs, whatever. So the first, for example, in Sabah, there is a little village that has so much traditions. You can have people dancing with them, learning about their culture, getting involved into how they live, what do they do, things like that. And I think it's a sort of a cultural exchange. However, if we support more and have more people open to it, it will create job opportunities for the local villagers, so they don't have to travel out into the city to find job. And while creating job opportunities, they actually have the traditions more preserved for a longer period of time. And I think that's how we can be the middle person for this to happen. And of course, for example, in Myanmar, there's a sanctuary forest in the middle. Where is it? It is in, so it's allows no, it's not Myanmar, it's Laos. Laos used to be called the land of million elephants, and now it's only to hundreds and thousands, which is really sad. So it could be an experience where, it's a elephant rehab. We're going to offer them a new life, and it's not just wild elephants. It could also be elephants that was in captivity, or kept or wounded or sick. So they created this 6,000 hectare of land for those kind of elephants, and I think it's just it's a really interesting product that we can have our clients go into. Yeah, so those are the type two examples that a company like us is looking for from vendors all across Asia. It doesn't have to be in the jungle or in the sub like, yeah, it can be anything. It can also be in a city, but you dig out history that no one knows, or like lost sultans, or things like that is what we are looking for our future incentive. In terms of demand, we do have we're quite optimistic because we do have demands from our clients. Everyone's working from home in different companies and industry, and I think once the borders are quite relaxed and open, I think the first thing they're going to do is to organize a corporate retreat or incentive and meetings, because when you work from home a lot, your morals are really low. So I think there is we are very optimistic about it, and we have been receiving requests. It's a matter of things that we don't have in control, which is obviously the borders restrictions. So I think that's all from us. We would like to know what you guys think in the Q&A. So if you could type in, we could probably answer. Doesn't seem like there's any questions. So there's a QR code. It's not for safe entry. It's to my LinkedIn profile. If you have anything that comes in mind and you think of us, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Anyway, thank you. Have a good fair. Hopefully it's productive, and bye.